bubbly sociopath rich kid lying to get on the rest.
This might be old, but still.
Teenage douchebag who chases you down and steals your lunch money. The archetypal bro in every movie with coiffed hair and a sweater tied around his neck, pumping iron and yelling at their girlfriend. Gavin Newsom and Rob Bonta are destroying Hollywood, and now they're trying to cripple two of the greatest film studios of all time over politics. These Sacramento politicians are every movie villain we've ever seen on film. They are everything Paramount isn't.
What?
I'm Batman.
My name is Jeff.
While Paramount and St. Thomas of Cruz have spent the last decades building up Hollywood, the Bonta Bros have been destroying it, chasing productions out of town, sending projects to Budapest, neglecting film tax credits and incentives to win back production, doing everything they can to cripple the film industry while Atlanta and Hungary steal our lunch. And now suing Paramount to make sure the industry crumbles further, all because Paramount wants to invest $110 billion into Warner Brothers. Now, why are they investing in Warner Brothers? Because they're awesome. Warner Brothers has made some of the most iconic films of all time. The Matrix, The Lord of the Rings, The Dark Knight, The Shining, Harry Potter, Blade Runner, Dune, A Clockwork Orange, Lethal Weapon, Batman, The Goonies. Who wouldn't want to invest in them? In fact, Paramount has been partnering with Warner Brothers for years already. Remember Interstellar? Paramount developed it and then shared the production and distribution with Warner Brothers. Same with David Fincher's brilliant Zodiac and Benjamin Button, The Watchmen, and I bet you didn't know that. Rob Bonta and Gavin Newsom for sure don't know that.
For more than a century, Paramount and Warner Bros. Have squared off.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
As fierce competitors, which has fueled powerful projects that have stood the test of time.
I'm not a smart man.
Who knows what those movies would have been like if not for the competition driving the distributors to produce their best work.
He must be the stupidest son of a bitch alive.
If these two companies merge,
Right here.
theaters will lose their negotiating power.
Like the dumbest motherfucker that ever lived.
They'll have to pay more to get the merged companies' movies on their screens. They'll have fewer discounts to offer. They'll have fewer new releases to show. No kings.
Never go for a retard.
What's next for these problems in Sacramento? What industry titans are Newsom and Bonta going to block from collaborating next? John Williams and Steven Spielberg? Are they going to sue Tim Burton to block him from working with Danny Elfman? Hey, maybe we shouldn't let The Rock and Kevin Hart work together. No, 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 that's bad for consumers. They're too powerful. These politicians are a joke. Don't forget when Amazon, a $2.7 trillion tech and film production company, snatched up MGM 4 years ago. Nobody said a word. Bonta didn't care about that merger. Why not? What's different? Is it because Amazon is one of their favorite Silicon Valley tech companies?
There are three words that are nearly entirely missing from this complaint. And those three words are Amazon, Netflix, Apple. So how can you define this market for movies and TV without considering those three major competitors?
Wide release theatrical films are different than, select release theatrical films and
Today, Junior.
are released to theaters. And blockbusters are, a market unto itself. But each of the markets as we've defined them creates
You feel the pressure.
a
That's crazy.
substantial limiting of competition that makes them presumptively illegal.
And so it's really just the amount of screens that you are putting your movie on.
Bonta claims that if Paramount partners up with Warner Bros., it will reduce production. They claim that after Disney acquired Fox, their productions decreased. Notice they specifically say after they merge. They don't say because they merged, because something else happened after the 2019 merger that may have had an impact on production. Yeah, they merged right before COVID when Gavin Newsom shut down the entire state and followed that with the biggest, most prolonged labor strike in Hollywood history. Everybody's production decreased. Nothing to do with the merger. Bonta conveniently won't tell you what happened after the Amazon-MGM merger.
Yeah, one of the highest grossing movies of the year in theaters this year came from Amazon.
Not only did their production skyrocket, they absolutely ran the table with Project Hail Mary, a box office nuke that earned 2/3 upwards of $1 billion.
Great movie, by the way.
Another thing Bonta doesn't want you to remember is how Paramount went to the mat for a theatrical release with Top Gun Maverick. Steven Spielberg said that Tom Cruise saved Hollywood single-handedly when he fought to ensure Maverick got a full theatrical release.
Tom Cruise really walked into that theater. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it was awesome. He thanked everybody for the support. He said he doesn't care how much money the movie makes. He just hopes people enjoy it.
They were willing to keep the costs and delay the release to protect the theater.
That's someone that really loves what he's doing.
Collapsing as lockdowns and the big tech streamers eroded the business. And that's another thing Bonehead Bonta fails to tell you. It was Netflix was originally the buyer for Warner Brothers, and Bonehead Bonta had no problem with that.
Are you shilling for Netflix?
Why is Netflix the preferred partner?
Dude, wow.
This is a deal that's positive for consumers in terms of choice. The argument that Netflix is making is there's a lot of choice out there.
There are these monoliths that are dominating Hollywood right now. We're seeing it. Scale matters. And these are globally, vertically integrated companies for the first time in the history of the entertainment business that can do it all. Distribute film and television around the world instantaneously via the internet. And it has completely caught the rest of the entertainment business flat-footed, and they are now scrambling to catch up. So, you know, the argument would flow from there that by combining forces of these two companies, you could perhaps create a real competitor to Netflix or Amazon.
That's their argument. And
yeah, but why are they wrong?
You won't have the same quality and variety at concessions.
He's protecting these big corporate established
Warner Bros, it will decimate
streaming services like Netflix.
Would go from 5 to 4.
Yeah,
what?
That's crazy, dude.
Only to find out
yeah, they want to keep these three major, like obviously Netflix runs it.
88 back to an ancient
Disney is
Amazon and Netflix didn't exist when Lionsgate didn't just.
What's crazy is Disney was in there, wouldn't it?
Michael, when a YouTuber with 750 grand just grossed $300 million in theaters with Obsession, what planet are you living on where there's not enough competition in Hollywood? Not only does Hollywood have more competition in its own industry, it has competition for your eyeballs from Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube podcasts.
These days, you know, YouTube is a media company, and that would certainly be much larger. Amazon is a media company. Apple is a media company. So, look, even Disney, you would say, is a media company. And
yeah, that's what I was saying.
As big as Disney.
This isn't the 80s, Rob. Streaming has changed everything. More and more people get their content online, which means less and less are watching traditional cable. The trend line is only going in one direction.
48% of viewing in this country was on streaming services. 22% of viewing was on cable channels. How can you not consider the larger viewing ecosystem when looking at this consolidation? Because they're competing with it. They're absolutely going up against Netflix and Amazon. Yet you're saying that this one aspect of television viewing in cable channels is the one that is anti.
That's why everybody's moving to online services, you know, Fox and all these, like, you got Peacock.
Paramount would have a near monopoly
it's like
cable, when in reality,
they got to compete somehow, and if they
vanishing so rapidly,
you can't watch it on a mobile device.
7% of all
doesn't exist sometimes.
7%. That's the monopoly. Bonta's shitting his pants over.
This is about everyday people's ability.
This guy seems like a crook.
Enjoy an experience.
He just seems like he's been living well off of taxpayer money.
A TV.
Well, not really taxpayer money. You know, just taking bribes. You know, keeping big companies in power.
At a movie theater, you know, for a night out.
Good for him, right?
And this merger will.
Wait, what was that?
Experience.
I missed it.
The quality less and make it eroded.
You went full retard.
Bonta is lying. He has no case. He has to lie about the numbers. He has to pretend that Netflix and Amazon don't exist. He has zero qualms about the MGM merger.
Man, never go full retard.
Against Paramount is pure politics. Add in a communist judge, Arceli Martinez Aldwin, a Mexican-born immigration attorney handpicked to the federal circuit judiciary. This hyphenate knows nothing about mergers, knows nothing about the film industry, and that's the point.
Yeah, we like that judge. And
yeah, we like that judge. Great.
Who's already thinking about
glad you like
that we want to talk about.
Like them. Shot for a commie activist judge who would have no idea the damage this would do.
Yeah, he looks sketchy.
And she co-signed Bonta's bullshit and put a restraining order on the merger just to be punitive and cost David Ellison and Paramount a fortune.
Because I'm considering running for president.
Gavin Newsom doesn't like Larry
do it.
Ellison.
Actually,
he
do
sees
it.
him as too friendly with the president, and Sacramento is the most corrupt government this side of Mogadishu.
Trump allied billionaire family, the Ellisons, who own Paramount overseeing CBS.
And they would be using money from Larry Ellison.
Larry Ellison's one of the richest people in the world, has been close to Trump.
Here we know Larry Ellison has a very good relationship with the president.
This is a politically motivated challenge, not solid on the law. It's all about politics and standing up to Trump to win points for an election year.
That's all this is.
Yeah,
Gavin
100%.
and Bonta are willing to sacrifice
That makes sense.
the film industry just for petty politics. Despite what this corrupt Mimbo says, there's a ton of competition for these studios. This whole lawsuit is a scam. He needs to quit playing creating petty politics and crippling Hollywood. All this does is put production workers in the barrel as cannon fodder when they're already suffering enough with how much greasy Gavin has pushed this industry out of LA. The film industry needs a shot in the arm, and Paramount is not only investing $110 billion into Warner Bros., but David Ellison is slated to produce 30 theatrical releases in their first year.
Wow.
It'll be a massive boom for an industry that's been hemorrhaging jobs. This lawsuit will make it even worse. Either Bonta loses or California loses. That's all, folks. Just how they chased Elon Musk.
That's all, folks. I got it.
What they do. Pick petty fights and push massive companies away. Like Elmer Fudd if he only hunted golden geese. Paramount has a problem.
Amen.
If it were for Paramount and St. Thomas of Cruz, the theater business wouldn't even exist anymore. Paramount and Warner Bros. Are going to merge no matter what. If this lawfare continues, they'll just merge onto the I-40 and take their studio to Nashville.
Right.
LA will collapse altogether. Get your foot off the brakes, Bonta.
America!
Cruise control.
Oh. Good film. 110 billion into water. Maybe. Who knows? I doubt it. I think it's gonna be good. It would be a good merger.